Alright everybody, welcome to the Arty 84 show live here in Revere, Massachusetts on this 10th day in October, 2017. As always, the Adam the Mallet to the left of me. This is episode 31.
Hello everybody.
And things are about to get weighted.
Always.
It's been quite the week, sir. Quite the week.
We got football, bowel obstructions, tacos. We got everything. Movies, trailers, and everything.
Should we talk about the taco first?
Yeah, we should get this out of the way. You and me were talking about it, and we should just...
Last Wednesday, a week ago tomorrow, was International Taco Day, which was October 4th. And Adam and I decided we were going to go try to eat the 2-pound taco at the Margaritas restaurant here up in Revere. And here's the thing. 2 pounds of food does not really sound like a lot. Sometimes when you think about, if you go to get a steak, that's like a 24-ounce steak, or that's like a 16-ounce steak with the fixins and the mashed potatoes and stuff. So you probably eat 2 pounds of food when you get steak, you know what I mean?
You're also eating the fat, though, when you get that.
True.
You're trimming that off. And but 2 pounds is think how hard it is to eat a 1 pound hamburger.
It is.
Hard. You know
it's very hard. Yeah, especially with all the crap on it and everything.
Exactly.
So we had to do this within an hour. I don't think we had to do it within an hour. I think we just had to finish it.
No, we just set it for ourselves to do it that way.
Yeah.
Each have one. Yeah.
I got most of the innards done. That it was rice, beans, pork, beef, chicken, cheese, sauces of a varietal amount, and then it was on a deep fried, greasy, disgusting taco shell. And that's where it stopped me right there, because what I did was I carved out the taco.
You did. Yeah, it was the best strategy to go with. It definitely was.
I ate all the meat first, because I figured that's what they do in these hot dog eating contests, right? They eat the meats and then
hot dog is just, but that's small. But yeah, any contest, that's what you should do, is the carbs last.
And they soak everything. So I'm like, alright, now, as long as I get the meats and heavy stuff down, I could probably get away with just ripping the taco shell pot and eating it like a nacho, you know what I mean? So, I did that, and then I had the first bite of it, and I got seriously nauseous. Yeah. I think there's so much oil in that. Now, if it was a soft shell, I probably would have been able to eat it. But hard shell, no way, I couldn't do it. No. It was actually making me sick to my stomach. Yeah. You, on the other hand,
treaded on,
plowed through like an Alaskan trucker on an ice road, trying to get his cargo to the high north, so people could survive off of and eat. And you did so successfully.
I did.
That matter. I did not see any. You did have to sweat, so I've never seen you sweat like that before.
I did, because I ate the jalapenos first, and then I was sweating, and then it was a bit of a grind, because once you hit that shell, it was like hitting the wall. And then, but remember, we were timing it out because we jumped so far ahead. It was like we were only 28 minutes into eating this. And there was just the shell left. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So I was able to time it out. Okay, at one point I was like, I got 5 bites left. I can do 9 minutes per bite.
True.
And make it work. But it was still, really, my body was telling me, just don't. But I'm like, there's barely anything left on this plate. But it felt like it was impossible. And especially with that damn shell just weighing you down.
The shells was killing you, yeah.
It was.
And it's not like an impossible task. Now, so they used to do this thing a couple of years ago. If you finish a taco within an hour, you get 1 free taco a week for a year. So you get 52 free tacos.
Great.
This guy, Joe, who was at the fundraiser, we'll talk about that in a little bit. He was the one who came in afterwards. He was drinking the margaritas, the older guy.
Okay, I think I know talking about.
He's a regular, comes in all the time. Also in my ward.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking
He did it a couple of years ago. So every Sunday he would come in and watch football with his buddy and order his taco. He has free taco. So, it was a great idea.
It's pretty awesome.
But, the fact of the matter is, I forget the point I was making. So I was done in half. Yeah, like you said, we were done in a half hour. I just couldn't stomach it. This will be on the quickie. I've been a little backed up on the quickies. My quickies are a little slowies. But we have the taco one. We have a couple of angles shot of Adam and I eating the tacos. But I tried getting on this week. But it's been a busy, hectic week of stuff. So that will be on YouTube fairly soon. And I hope you enjoy that as well. What's that look for?
We also didn't train for it either.
No, we got Susan over here. What's Susan look?
Yes, Suze, what the hell?
I just sent you guys a picture of what I expected the aftermath to be after eating the tacos.
Oh yeah, there we go. She sent us. Oh, well, that's an interesting picture. Oh my God, who's that lady?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can see this.
Well, it did end up kind of that way.
There's a redhead lady on a toilet that's shooting off into space. That
Of course,
is
it's
not
a
what,
redhead.
but unfortunately, that is not what happened to either of us.
No, not immediately.
It constipated us. Unbelievable, right? I mean,
Yes,
I
it's
literally had stomach issues.
Yes, me too. I felt like I had a bowling ball sitting in my stomach. I was miserable at work, and
Why is that?
I don't
Is it
know.
because there's so much protein that we ate?
No, I think our bodies, because you can train for this. You can
Yeah.
expand your stomach. I
Yeah.
think you and I just didn't do, because we didn't do that.
No, we don't.
So
train,
I
no.
think we
And
just
I don't know. I
literally-
barely eat as it is on a regular basis. So
we just blasted our body with 2 pounds of waste to deal with.
true.
And I think that's what ended up doing it.
And it was a lot of food. I'm telling you right now. I mean, and then when it was like, it sunk to my stomach. Like, and I eat a light breakfast. You know, usually a quick lunch,
Yeah.
and sometimes I go without dinner. Usually lunch is my biggest meal of the day. So
Really, lunch?
yeah, because I have a couple at work. Just 2 lunches usually.
Yeah.
But
That's because you have my delicious leftovers
oh
that I cook every night for you.
yes, I'm gonna have some delicious leftovers tomorrow too, right? That you cooked tonight.
Yeah,
Delivered to us.
Yeah, delivered.
courtesy of Papa Gino's.
Her the kitchen that she owns over in down the street.
Yeah.
Remember the last time we got Papagino's, by the way, off it took like 3.5 hours to get in.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not like that tonight. But, yeah, I finally went back to normal, like today.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Because
It
you know
was-
the
it was
route
a
I
week.
took.
Yeah, so you went, I did the same thing last night. I take these toxic cleansing pills like once a year.
Yeah.
And you're really only supposed to take them like once every one blue moon. And you're only supposed to take them for like a week straight. They're like an herbal remedy. It really just cleans out your intestinal tract and gets all the waste. I equivalent to it is basically like Drano for your intestines.
That's what I did.
So,
You should have just done
yeah, and basically I take one of these and usually the minute you take it, like a half hour later you feel like jerking on your stomach.
that. Yeah.
But
noises.
literally, it's healthy because it gets all the waste and shit that's
Yep.
backed up inside there. So you take one of those, and now I'm on a regular regimen for the next week and a half, which is about that time of year anyways. The last time I took it was almost a year ago. So, but it makes you feel 100% better. It makes you sleep better. Makes you feel more active, like getting all that crap out of you. So maybe that's what I needed, a 2-pound taco to really motivate me to, help me with this process.
Yeah, pull the toxins out. Yeah, see, I wasn't as patient. You waited longer than I did because I had a friend of mine say, like, "Oh, you should drink some prune juice. That'll get rid of everything." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then I asked my mom, like, "Hey, Mom, prune juice, did that like help, flush me out of here or all that?" She's like, "It doesn't really work for me." So I'm thinking the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
It works
like-
for some people.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just drink 36 ounces of it.
Yeah.
And I text my buddy. And I was like, I got some
So you
prune
drink the
juice.
whole bottle of prune juice.
No, half the bottle. It was like
God.
64, right?
Yeah.
And I texted my buddy, I'm like, so I drank some prune juice. Like, how much did you drink? And I'm like, I drank 34 ounces. He's like, why did you do that? I'm like, I'm at work too. He's like, why did you
Oh,
do
God.
that? He's like, may God have mercy.
No,
on
I
your
don't think
soul."
I've ever had prune juice in my life.
Yeah, it's
what
not
does
that
it
great.
taste like?
Jason. I can't describe it. It's not that great. I mean, I can stomach it, but I'd rather never drink it again.
Because a prune's technically... Is a prune a raisin?
It's a good question. I should read on the bottle.
Is a raisin...
That's a good question.
No, it's a good question. Is a raisin a dehydrated prune?
God, but no, it's not a raisin.
That's
A date?
Grape.
No, a
No,
date.
that is not a grape.
No, a date is a raisin.
Yes.
Yeah. So a prune's just a prune.
But a grape's really small.
What's a prune look like?
A prune is like a... Oh my god, I feel so
I don't think I've
But
ever
a
seen...
raisin's really small. I thought a raisin was a dried up grape.
No. At all.
I don't want to... I'm pretty sure it's not. It's a dried plum. Sorry.
A prune is a dried plum?
Yeah.
It is a dried plum, you're right. Okay, and and a date and a raisin of the two of that variety. So a prune,
grapes are used to make wine.
Yes.
a prune is a dried up plum of any caliber. Most prunus dominica or European plum.
Yes. So...
Interesting.
No,
So-
a raisin is a dried grape.
Yeah, raisin. You didn't say raisin.
Uh-huh.
Dried grape. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. Sorry. I'm sorry, I misheard you. My bad. You're
I
right.
already said a date.
I thought it was a date.
A date?
A raisin is a dried grape.
Yeah.
Really?
A drape. So...
Is that true?
Yes, it is.
Well, I think I've gone my entire life thinking I didn't know that.
What do you think, a raisin was its own thing?
No, I always thought it was a date. Then what's a date?
A date is a date.
How do you spell it?
It's going to give you a million. If you take date raisin, it's a type of. I think it's like a.
Oops.
There you go.
A date palm, Phoenix diffy, commonly known as a date or a date palm, is a flowering plant. So it's a whole different. That's a whole different thing by itself.
Yeah.
It's from a plant.
We're getting educated today, people.
So if you guys didn't know this, a raisin is a grape, a prune is a plum, and a date is all by itself. Which is kind of weird because when you're on a date, you're usually with someone.
It's true.
There's your fun fact of a day for you. Go home, take that with you, do what you want to do with it. Now you just learned a little bit about fruit.
So my buddy tells me, it'll take about 4 hours. Within an hour. I spent the second half of my workday more on the toilet than at my own workstation.
Well, in the old days, they used to give that to people who were constipated.
Yeah.
So I could see, drinking,
36 ounces.
More than half a gallon of prune juice. That's approximately 66% of a gallon you just drank of prune juice.
It
doesn't take a few.
It doesn't stop there. So I'm like, at work, I'm like, going to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. It's working. Ha ha ha. Right. Then I go home, and it didn't stop until about 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I'm drinking Gatorade in the process, so I don't die of dehydration on the toilet.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's pretty much my night. And I couldn't make it out that night. If I had confidence that I wouldn't shit myself, maybe I would have went out that night. But
That's worse than that crampy feeling you get in your stomach. When you're going through that, it's like you're holding it back.
Oh, the noises that were coming out of my stomach were ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was like talking. It was. I've never heard those kind of noises.
Well, at least you cleaned yourself out. I guess you're ready to go. Right?
Oh, the next day I felt like a new man.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm just glad the output finally matched the input and everything sort of finally corrected itself. But
the equilibrium.
The exit end wasn't feeling too great. I will say, I was like, oh my god, just make it stop.
What'd you think of the taco as a whole? Did you enjoy it? Or?
I wish I did, but I wasn't in that mindset. I was just like all business.
All business. You're like a mullet.
Doesn't drinking water, no chips or anything.
It was vodka day too, believe it or not. So I had myself a vodka and a taco to celebrate both days. Like you're like a true American, I guess you could say.
You did. Yes, and I will never do a food challenge again.
No, I did a lot. I don't know. Hot wing ones, it seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I never understood that. Like when we were at Buffalo, I never understood the point of eating something so ridiculously hot you can't even taste the flavor of what you're eating.
When I was a freshman in college, on my orientation, we had orientation like in August, going into my freshman year, right? So me, Doubleback, and our other friend Joe, we're all going up to UMass together. So we all did our orientation on the same weekend, right? So we all had this get together after all our class tests and all that stuff, right? At the common area in the dormitory, and they had a hot pepper eating contest, and the winner got like, I don't know, they got a rail meal instead of the cafeteria food. They were gonna actually get a burger and stuff, which I don't understand how you could eat it. So there was 5 of us that entered. The first round was jalapenos. I banged those down. Came in second place, no problem at all. Third round, the last round, was the red chili pepper, the really small little red, the ones they use in like Thai food and whatnot.
Yep.
My tongue was so swollen, it was double the size of my mouth, right? It was terrible. Now, here's a funny story. So we go to orientation. Neither did my mother, Doubleback's mother, or the other Joey's mother read the paperwork saying that we should have been sent with linens or a sleeping bag. So we show up to orientation, no pillow, no sheets, no blanket.
Oh, great.
We were assuming it was going to be like a hotel.
Yeah.
So the three of us wander in, like doo-doo-doo, walking the campus, and everyone has their bags and stuff, and we're looking at each other, because I drove the Jeep up there, the three of us were like, should we have brought in stuff? So we had to use whatever they had for sheets and stuff. God knows when the last time, it was kind of gross. In the beds. And after I ate those peppers, my stomach was rip-roaring all day. I spent the entire next day back and forth in the bathroom.
And the exit, I'm sure.
And it felt like a torch. Like a... Just, oh God! The pain I can't even explain. I can't even fathom how anyone could do that on a regular basis.
No.
But what I can say about the experience is I did not learn my lesson, because I go to Buffalo Wild Wings every single time and I get that mango jalapeno, which is too hot for me.
I know.
In my mouth, I had the leftovers yesterday.
Yeah.
The roof of my mouth feels like 90 grit sandpaper was literally just rubbing on it all day, and then someone threw gasoline on it.
Yeah, see, that's not cool, man.
I like it like right near my gums on the top. Everything feels like like English muffin pizzas, for example.
Ooh.
You ever have an English muffin
Oh yeah,
pizza?
the cheese sticks to like.
And you're so hungry for this thing, you take it out of the toaster oven, and the cheese is like molten lava, and it sticks like
the roof of your mouth and it just burns it.
napalm to the top of your mouth, and just doesn't go anywhere. It just
I know
burns
that
it.
too well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what my mouth is going through right now. It's a
Like
painful experience.
I like to eat things with a little kick. You know what I mean? I like that, but if it overwhelms the flavor of what I'm eating, I
True.
just find it stupid. I realize that I think people that eat this ridiculously hot food are just doing it to try to look cool. Like, look at me, I can eat like the hot. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I want to actually taste my food. I'm not going to sit there and sweat.
Well, Maddie's a
you know?
smart man. He gets the sauce on the side, so we did
Yes, that's smart.
that. So I dipped.
Yes.
What I did was I mixed a little bit, yada yada yada. Now
Yeah.
you remember the story from many months ago when we all went to Buffalo Wild Wings, right?
Yeah, you brought it into
Yeah,
work.
the whole gang of us, the crew, if you will, all went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I got the blazing sauce on the side, which is the hottest sauce they have there. And then I brought it home, and then Monday for work, I brought it to work, and it had spilt all the sauce had mixed and mangled with all the chicken. It was a big cluster. So I threw it in the microwave at work, and the smell was so potent, microwave, that it was taking over the whole entire office. That it felt like it was like they were getting gassed. It was a terrible, terrible thing.
You know what? I think you did them a favor, though. You cleared everybody's sinuses.
I did. It was very rewarding.
It was.
And that was the talk of the office. Everyone kept walking by me asking where I got those from. I go, well, they're my leftovers. How do you like me now?
Hey.
So there you go. So that was that. That was our taco experience. We had the fundraiser this weekend. That was interesting. Did you enjoy yourself at the
No,
fundraiser?
I had a good time, hanging out with the guy. I felt underdressed.
Yeah.
I was but then I realized other people showed up, in just polo shirts, and I felt better.
Yeah,
At first,
I mean,
I was like, whoa, because I left actually wearing a button down, and then
Yeah.
I was like, it's too hot for this. No one's going to be dressed like this. And then I go, and Maddie, who ended up spilling red wine on himself.
Well, Susan and I dressed for the, because we know there's going to be some
Yeah.
picture opportunities, but Maddie dressed pretty spiffy. If you didn't know, we catch you guys up. We had the fundraiser for my campaign last Saturday at the Comfort Inn in Revere, attached to the Margaritas, where we had the taco eating contest a couple days prior to that.
You both look stunning, I will say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
It was a nice night. We had the band Idols in the Attic, which was my old boss's band, play. Nice 80s cover. They mixed in a few 90s songs in there, but for the most part it was...
I enjoyed them. Some comics. I liked they didn't care the crowd. They just went with what they
There was some kids there. Well, that we could blame that to Eric, who was supposed to tell him it was going to be a mixed crowd. I did warn some of the people who brought kids, and I was like, listen, there got to be comics there, so use your own discretion. But I thought, as a comic was in the crowd and seen some kids, me as a stand-up comic would tone it down a little bit.
Gauge the crowd.
You work the crowd. So I would use, instead of my very vital, terrible jokes of graphicness or my language choice, I would use my ability to thesaurus words. I don't know if that's even proper.
I'll allow it.
You know what I'm saying? You get the idea. Instead of using, say fuck,
Yeah.
You say friggin', or
oh man, like what the hell? Right?
Yeah, or be creative for to say instead of using the word penis, you get creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my sloppy pickled pal. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. But these comics just
Didn't care. It was
Didn't care.
awesome. It was
and it's kind of embarrassing because there was a mixed crowd there, but but the person who was hosting the comedy should have took care of that issue, as any good host would do, but unfortunately, he dropped the ball. He was like a friggin' ticking time bomb, huh?
Oh, he is. I love how he found the time, though, when he was talking to plug his softball. He's like, who we beat you this year?
He'll be talking about that to the day he dies. The highlight of his life. If you didn't know, we had a band and we had comics. So we had Uncle Eric. Uncle Eric Powers do the
time bomb.
He was supposed to do the comedians, get all the comedians rev up, and obviously, there was some miscommunication along the way, so we ended up getting, 3 comics, which was nice. Don Zola, my mom's favorite comic, was there, and me and Don have done a lot of comedy shows back and forth, so he's always there to do a show, and, he's had me on a couple of his shows, which I appreciate. So, it was nice having him there, and like I said, he's my mother's favorite comic. She literally comments on everything he writes on Facebook. She likes. She comments. It's crazy.
Is he gay?
I don't know.
I don't care. I got kind of a vibe there.
I don't know. I think he has a girlfriend.
That doesn't mean anything anymore.
I guess so. I don't know. But he's funny. He's a funny guy.
He's hilarious. Oh my god.
My favorite joke is the one about I just shot a pilot the other day. He works for Delta. That gets me every time. I don't know what it is. Then that Tom Brady story he does to close his jokes.
Yes.
That's pretty. That's funny. But and then you know what? I'm terrible because I forget the other two comics' names over there.
Yeah.
It's like totally slips in my mind.
Sorry, I don't either.
Because they weren't the original ones there. Eric got them last minute to go. But of course, Eric is like a ticking time bomb. If you don't know, when he starts drinking, there's a gray area in which he can become fun Eric to
yes.
liability Eric.
And you and me knew that exact moment.
Yeah.
I looked at you and I'm like...
No, you gotta remember, this is a political fundraiser.
Yes.
Right? I'm running for a public office in the town. So, I don't want to be the type of person that stops talking to people because they could be a liability, but at the same time, a person who has a general amount of knowledge should realize when they should behave themselves and when they shouldn't behave themselves, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
You know, like there's a time and a place to act like a crazy person, but there's also a time to reel it in a little bit, and So we're getting the party starts around 6, so he comes in like a bat out of hell already before the even thing starts. So I'm like, I get the comics up at 7 because we got to push everything, and I do my speech afterwards and get the band playing and all stuff. So we had a little timeline for the night, and you don't want to lose the crowd too because a lot of people are in and out. A political fundraiser, people pop in for 10, 15 minutes and they leave.
They should have an appearance.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of them, especially people who also run for office, like to show up, which is very grateful that people do show up. And the people that did show up guarantee get my vote because it's a very nice thing to do. You have a conversation, and the good thing is about the people that did show up, they are in fact running for a citywide election. Mm. So a lot of people there were from Revere who they got to meet and get to know, and there you go. They probably got 10 votes just from that party right off the bat, which is what you do. For me, it's more of a district, so I only really have my own district to smooze. You know what I mean? To try to, talk to and reach out to talk about what I believe in. But we all know that Eric. So in the nutshell, the show was going good, but I knew that time was approaching very closely, where he was going to become a liability. So he gets up, he does this thing. So I think he got on stage, because sometimes when he drinks, when he does too much, when he does comedy, it kind of goes to a weird place. You know what I mean? It goes to a very, dark,
Well, but before it even got to that point, during your speech, I'm sitting there, and I was actually legitimately listening to every word you were saying.
Which you could read that, you can see that speech live. If you go to YouTube and type in Arty Henry Damati or speech, you can catch it.
Which was great. I feel like the first part of your speech, we were kind of working into it, seemed a little bit like you were treading, but then you started breaking out some numbers and statistics, and then it got really good.
Well,
You all of a sudden just started killing it. You went from small talking your way into and then hitting it. And I'm trying to listen to you, and then Eric's like, hey, look.
Adam.
He looks at me, and I'm looking at him like this, and I'm really trying to listen to you, and I'm like, whatever. And I was just I was starting to lose my mind.
Well, yes. So there's two things. So he was doing that when he walked in. So I'm talking to all the candidates who are coming in, working for the city, and I'm having conversations. And I'm talking about issues and all that stuff, and working greeting everyone. That's literally everyone that comes in the door. I'm trying to greet, to say hi, thank you for coming. I mean, it's the fundraiser for me. They're taking time out of their life to come support me and for my cause, right? So he comes over and starts talking about stupid stuff. He interrupt the convecation, and I look at him like, all right, 1 second. You know what I mean? Did they? Who's this? This person? Do you know him? You know what I mean? It's I don't want to be rude, but I'm having a conversation. Can I wait?
Yeah, I can wait. Yeah, time and place for everything.
But to get back on the speech, so he was fine. He got through everything. So he became crazy, out of control once everyone left, and it was just the immediate friends and family that they already know what kind of a crazy person he is. So that was fine.
Well, we saw the beginning of it on that when he was on the dance floor, and I looked at you and I'm like, I think this is where.
Was that when he had the sign in his hand and he was playing air guitar with one of my signs?
That's where it starts because he's still fun, but that's where it's starting it's gonna teeter soon. Yes.
I think gratefully, my boss had already left at that point, so that was a good thing. Oh my God, my boss was there with his family. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, God, I'm like, this could go bad.
Yeah.
But it was all right. But to back up on the speech, to be honest with you, so I wrote this 3-page speech, and this is where I made the mistake. I'm terrible at writing out paragraphs to read per line, which I should have done, which is what I do with my stand-up comedy, is I write punchlines. So I write, like, outlines. So when I go tell a joke and I have, like, cards or notes in my hand, I'll have, like, a line that says, yada, 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 this joke, and then I'll have, like, 1, 2, 3 points to hit. So I will ad-lib and improv the pieces that connect it all. So it's not 100% the same joke all the single time. It's kind of just like you get the setup, and then you get the punchlines, and you get the flow that gets there. What I accidentally did was what I did when I did a couple eulogies for my grandfathers. I wrote it like paragraph, like I wrote the speech.
Yeah.
But different in a eulogy, you're sitting there up in the stand, you're at church, you're looking down,
There's no comment.
and you just read. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's really no way to improv, or you know. What I should have done was treated the speech more like a stand-up act than a eulogy, if you will. So I wrote it all paragraph, but as I'm reading the paragraph, it was kind of getting, my mind was going. So I just abandoned it.
That's what I picked up.
And that's when it picked up, because I abandoned it, but I knew the facts. So it was like I was telling jokes because I knew the jokes, but I knew the facts.
Yeah.
So then I could just kind of go off and make eye contact with the crowd and work. Now I can work the crowd, and things were coming to my mind as I was going. There was a whole lot of flowing going on at that situation.
Is that what I was picking up on then?
Yeah.
That's
when it started getting better. Was me. I was just getting more comfortable. The nervousness goes because you're reading, you get nervous and stuff, and it was a little anxious because you know it's like it was being recorded. I knew it was going to be up there, so. I mean, the first half was, you know, a lot of thank yous for everyone.
You were working your way to it, and then like, where's this going? And then when you hit with the numbers and the statistics, you were like, and you seem so passionate, buddy. I'll give you
don't
props.
lie. I'm telling you,
you were passionate. You were very passionate. I totally give you props for that.
Well,
you were like,
as any campaign is, you gotta kind of base it on something. You gotta kind of find why you get. Well, here's the thing: everyone has what they stand for, what they want to do, you know, and what they believe in. But at the same time, you have. Like how you need to approach a campaign in a certain angle, right? So you can either go and find out what your opponent's saying and then go the opposite, or try to trump him, or just try to break him down for stuff he doesn't do.
True.
Unfortunately, the guy I'm running against never publicly says what he believes in. He keeps to himself, and in order to get an answer out of him, he's not going to tell you. So if you ask him what he thinks of the current mayor or the current situation, you won't get an answer out of him. So you really can't argue that. It's like. Okay, well, what am I arguing? How do you feel about this? Well, I'd rather not say. Ooh, well, that's kind of weird, right?
That is weird.
So you got to either be passionate on one end or the other. So I can't, approach it that way. So the only way I really could approach it was statistically seeing, all right, is this person supposed to be? Or do people really like him? Because everyone's like, oh, you don't stand a chance and everything. I love being told I don't stand a chance. I love it. Motivation more than ever. Mm-hmm. And the more signs I see around the city popping up, if you didn't know better, a few weeks ago I sent out mailers. Well, 3 weeks ago for this fundraiser, right? Sent them to, we call them super voters. Now, if you don't know what super voters are people who vote like in 3 consecutive elections. So that's in the last 6 years they voted all 3 elections.
People that actually care.
Yeah, and the city keeps track of these people for candidates to but to contact, to know where your target is, essentially. These are the people that show up to the polls. These are the people you know are going to be there next time around. These are the people you probably want to talk to. Whereas the guy who lives down the street who only shows up every 4 years for a presidential election, maybe he's not showing up, because this is a small election, because it's not a mayor election, it's not a presidential election. This is a inner city councilman election. That's all it is, and school committee. So there's really no big players in this, you know what I mean? But the people who are in the school committee and the counselors are ones who create the ordinance and the laws and get stuff done in the city. So this is, if you live in the city, this is a very important election that you show up to. More important, I think, than the mayor, because even though the mayor is there, the council is who votes on these things. So it's almost like having a president, but then you have your senators and the representatives. They're the ones who initially vote on the votes. The president just proposes them. Everyone else has to enforce them or try to vote for it. So the council in this city is very important. So I approach it by numbers. You've seen the numbers. Everyone knows the numbers. Yep. 9,000 people living in my ward. 14% voted for the incumbent. half of them are registered to vote. Let's get those other half registered to vote and come and get out there and vote. Why not?
Heck yeah, buddy.
Right. If you watch this and you live in Ward 6 or Revere and you need to know how to vote, if you're not registered to vote, just Google Massachusetts registered to vote. A link pops up for the Massachusetts government page, and you literally takes 5 minutes to register to vote.
And it's not too late, right?
Nope, you have until, I believe, the 18th.
Awesome.
So you have 8 days.
Get out there. Do it.
And all you need is your license. You go onto the page, you'll type in your information, it'll ask for your license ID number, and that's all you need. And you're registered to vote. Piece of cake. So,
Awesome.
and I sent out absentee ballots for the people to vote. The key is just to get. He got 1,300 votes out of 9,000 people. I need 1,301. That's all I need. I need 20% of the entire district. Of the ward, if you will. People call them districts. I know people are confused because a lot of ward are weird. Some cities call them districts. Down in friggin' New Orleans, they call them parishes, which is even. I think it's a whole Louisiana thing. Instead of districts or wards, it's parishes, which is interesting. But I think it goes back to the older days with its Catholic influence from when the French took over. But,
Oh, wow. Look at you throwing some history down.
You got people came from the north of the French-Canadian varietal.
North of the wall.
And then plowed their way down to the
I am
end
French
of the Mississippi.
Canadian. I hate the French. I am French Canadian.
But French Canadians were once Frenchers.
But they were kicked out for being too rebellious.
How do you feel about now? You're a Quebecian, because that's what they say up there, Quebec.
Actually, my family comes from Nova Scotia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're not one of those people who are looking to separate themselves. Like
No.
I always picture Quebec as like California.
On my dad's side. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
guess
like
so.
they always want to pull away and become their own. You know?
No, people in California tend to love California. But
I mean, California was all right.
it's alright. I like visiting. I don't want to live there, though.
Not my cup of tea.
Not mine
I
either.
don't know. It was. The best part about California was now we're into the travel section of this show. My favorite city was San Francisco. Believe it or not.
I like San Francisco.
I want to go there.
I've been to San Francisco. It's great.
It reminded
Very
me
nice.
It reminded me of a merge between Boston, Philadelphia, and New York. It's like a hybrid.
A lot of people pull the Boston and say that about Boston, like the Boston.
Yeah, because it was it had like the historical old school Boston and Philly feel. Well, Boston feel. It had the New York major city, everything's wicked expensive feel. And it had like the poor and the ghetto areas and the
A lot of
homeless
Asian
people like
too, though.
Philly.
That's weird.
Well, they came over. No, it is. It's that has a lot to do with
but honestly,
when a lot of Asians migrated from Asia. Obviously, it's close to get to the West Coast.
But honestly, I think it was kind of like Boston in the sense that like clean. You say dirty, but I think most of it was one of the cleaner cities I've been.
Well, it is. I shouldn't say
You know?
dirty. I should say there were sections.
Oh yeah, there's always going to be sections.
That for the most part, but so they have a homeless population that's larger than any other city in the country.
I thought you were going to say state because Hawaii is actually the worst. For state,
Well,
yeah.
someone told me, I don't know if this is true or not, but I looked into it and it has some kind of truth to it. But the reason the homeless population is so high in California is because when Nancy Pelosi, who was the Speaker of the House, right, was mayor of San Francisco back in the day, people would get $100 a week to be homeless, to be in San Francisco.
I'll
So
look that up.
once a week you would show up, and I forget who told me this. It was definitely a Republican. But they told me the homeless people would show up once a week and get $100. So it was an influx of homeless people that came to California, to San Francisco in particular,
God.
to get the free money. And
That's
if you're
true.
homeless, you could live off $100 very easily a week.
Yeah, you could.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you're going to probably spend most of it on booze.
I
but
mean, if
at
I
the
didn't
same
have
time-
bills, I could probably. That's my allowance a week is usually around $100.
Yeah,
for what I
yeah, so
spend,
yeah, exactly. Someone between one
And if you don't have any bills or anything to take care of, then
Yep. Nope.
I mean, you technically for $100 a week, you could get a phone bill. You could actually have a phone.
You could. You could.
I mean, you could get one of those-
no phone.
Yeah, right.
Yes, exactly.
So I
Prepaid
mean,
phone.
it's actually pretty funny.
But yeah, San Francisco. I remember going to Alcatraz and spending I spent I could have spent a whole day. I was actually impressed with how much time could I spend on this little island.
Yeah.
And I did one of those audio tours where you walk around, and
Oh, nice.
I was actually really brought into it. This is awesome. I could have spent another couple hours there if my ferry didn't have to freaking leave.
I've never been to Alcatraz. It's one place in San Francisco I have not been. When I do go, though, I want to do the night tour, which is about a year and a half out for a waiting list. But they take you there at night, and you literally, it's pitch black, and you're walking around the prison.
I would love to do
with
that.
just flashlights.
That's awesome.
I think if you're going to do Alcatraz, that's the way to do it.
That sounds fun.
Because I think it would really get you into the mind state of like when the two guys who supposedly broke out of Alcatraz.
Oh, they died.
And they remember the dummies they used for in their beds.
They're still
cells?
there. They have them, yeah. They have them in the cell, yeah.
And they dug their way out. I think like that
They got
perspective.
a raft and supposedly, no.
But so I've stayed on the shore of San Francisco looking out to Alcatraz. You obviously were in Alcatraz looking back to the shore of San Francisco. It's really doesn't mentally seem like it's that far. It almost looks like when you're like at Nahant Beach looking at Revere Beach. Like it looks like it's doable. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but the thing is this:
It's
the
the
current
current
that sweeps through there is actually pretty brutal.
No, it's the current.
Yeah.
Yeah, the currents will get you. But like in a mind, it's like maybe it's a doable swim. People swim that all the time. But and you know what's funny about San Francisco Bay? It's such a huge bay. It's gigantic, right? Mm-hmm. That like you said, when the tide's coming in to the bay, it will push it deep into the bay. But when it's coming out, because it's such a large volume of water and it's such a strong pull, and it kind of goes from a big, like it looks like a thermometer, and it narrows down as it gets like between like Oakland and San Francisco before it shoots out towards San Jose out in that area. Yeah. It, like literally like a large volume of water. It's almost like a funnel. It just funnels it and it just pulls you out.
Yeah.
Which I think is like absolutely crazy. Which is, and it's actually pretty cool too at the same time. But like you said, you have no chance in hell surviving that.
No,
just that current.
I think the tail is kept alive just because it's a great tail. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But realistically, there's no way this guy survived.
No,
it was a foggy night. It was a cold night. The tide was going out. And the raft showed up. Not them. No, they didn't.
It's shark infested water.
Yeah,
they didn't. Sharks love it.
They didn't make it. There's no way they made it.
I mean, it has a lot of qualities because the water's so cold. And sails, I mean, you're in California, you walk down the beach, it's not unfamiliar to see a sail just wash itself, like, hang out on the beach, right?
Yes.
I was in San Diego, I was staying in La Jolla, which is a little north of the city, and my hotel was right down the street from the beach. And it's weird because you go to the beach in California, it's not like the beach in Massachusetts where it's like sea level, you walk right in, it's on a cliff. So you're way up here, the beach is way the hell down there.
Yes, in California, the shelf drops off like this. It's not like here where it gradually goes down, it just drops.
It's literally 20 to sometimes 100 feet.
Yeah.
So in La Jolla, I'm up here at my hotel. I'm walking down this hill. So I get to the bottom of the hill, and I still got like 30 feet to go down to get to the beach. And I see this like black, like looks like rocks kind of thing all piled up in the corner. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And as you get closer, you see it's moving. Well, it's a bunch of sails just hanging out on the beach, like all huddled up together. Like, but that's why there's such a shark population. Because they like sails.
But interestingly enough, though, the water temperature there
It's freezing.
is
right?
actually colder than ours.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't have the Gulf Stream that flows through it. It's just water.
Ice cold. All that.
Yep.
And I think you only really get warmer water down to the San Diego area, right? I mean,
I don't know if I'm. I don't
if
know
that's
what that
even
would
warm
be.
at all.
It might be.
Plus, you get a thing too. The Pacific Ocean is like, significantly larger than the Atlantic Ocean, so volume of water to heat is a lot higher. It's hotter. You know what I mean? So.
It's funny to think, too, because I have friends who live out there who I try to visit once every year or every other year, and I go there, and it's like, in the morning I'm looking at the Atlantic, and then by the time I get there I'm looking at the Pacific. Think of, like, our ancestors, what it would take to actually, like, do that. Like, they would shit themselves. They wouldn't be able to fathom it. Like, you might get cholera on the journey, it's going to take, like, a month to go there. Like, it's just amazing how far...
I did that with Florida. Florida, you can see the sunrise over the ocean, you can see it set over the ocean.
Yeah.
Because you go to East Coast to West Coast, excuse me. But I did that once. I had a 5:30 flight at Logan to fly to Seattle.
Yep.
So you leave at 5:30 in the morning, you get to Seattle like at 6:30 in the morning, right? 'Cause
that's pretty cool.
And it only felt like an hour. You know what I mean? Even though I felt like I've been flying all day.
Yeah.
And then you sit there all day, and where my buddy lived in Seattle was on this like Queen Anne area, which was up in the hill near the Space Needle, and it overlooked the Sound, whatever the Sound is called over there. And the water was literally, the sun was literally setting over this, like, peninsula of the Sound. And it was amazing, because you're at Logan Airport, you're taking off, you're looking at the sunrise over the ocean.
Yep.
12 hours later, you're on the other side of the country watching the sun set over the ocean. It's
That is pretty cool.
pretty crazy.
I I've never done that.
Mind blowing.
Yes.
So you said you had a dream. I want to talk about this dream you had.
Yes.
You know how like Martin Luther King, you had
I have a dream.
a dream that I was an astronaut,
Yes.
which is what I used to tell girls when I was in college. I was training in the astronaut program. So explain. You're telling Susan and I this dream, and explain to us. Tell the world.
So I'm going to sleep, and I have this dream. Obviously, I'm going to sleep, but I have this dream that Susan. I'm standing in front of my apartment, and Susan picks me up in Arty's van, and she's like, "Get in the car!" And like the apocalypse is happening. Like there's like fire and brimstone everywhere. Rocks are being shot in the air. There's fire, right? And I'm getting in the van, and we have to go because Arty is building a rocket ship that's going to take us to the moon and get us out of here.
I love that idea.
Right? And I'm not sure if I would ever trust you to build a rocket ship. But if it's my last-ditch effort to get out of here, and it's, you know what I got?
Where was this rocket ship going?
To the moon.
Don't give him any ideas.
So
We're going to live on the moon.
the world was ending, but we're going to live in the moon. Did we have a game plan once we got to the moon?
I didn't get that far in the dream before it ended. I don't know.
We were just going to get in this rocket ship.
And as soon as he was scouting for people and shit, because you were going to leave in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
And like you had to get a bunch of people.
So the reality is I'm leaving in 10 minutes, so I take my future wife and tell her to go grab people. And say, listen, if you're not back in 10 minutes, we're going to the moon.
Well, I don't know the distance of where you... Yeah, pretty much, but I don't know the distance of where you are. Maybe you're really just right down the street. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a dream. All bets are off.
Hey, well, that is what it is.
I don't know. Maybe for some reason you're at a field in Woburn at the high school. I don't know.
That'd be pretty impressive.
I don't know. But, yep, Susie was rounding up people, so we go to the moon. And I'm very thankful.
How many people did we get in this rocket ship?
Right? I don't know. I'm guessing it was there were a couple people in the van.
But we made it?
I don't know. I didn't get that far. We were in the car, and I'm in the passenger seat, and Susan's driving like a renegade. And there's people like dying on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And there's just explosions.
And she's like dodging stuff. Like,
yes, there's like houses exploding and like.
Did we have the puppies with us, or they already in the rocket ship?
I didn't see any puppies. No. But like.
They might have been with you.
Maybe they already had the little spacesuits on, ready to go.
They helped you build the rocket ship.
Perhaps, yeah.
The car was just swerving, trying to get to your rocket ship, and then I woke up.
That sounds like a normal day.
Yeah, basically. It's Susan driving to work on the expressway in the morning.
Yeah. And then it was that point I realized, God damn, I've been around them way too much.
Did you ever pass me after the bridge, or did I blow you out of the water?
You blew me out of the water.
So you gotta ride. She rides the middle lane on the Tobin. You don't ride the middle. You gotta ride the left.
No, I got up right behind you in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And then I got over.
Yeah.
But then this huge truck came over and...
See, I get down to a science.
Right in front of me. No, I have it down to a science, buddy.
Well, what was I heading?
So it's competition. Susan's very competitive.
You were on the other
She's
side
very
of
competitive.
the...
It's like a six.
Like, remember with the
You
tickets?
were on the other side of the turn, and I can see you getting on the... What's the other bridge called? The Zaka.
Take 'em, yeah. She's
I
so
saw you on
she
that.
knows,
The Jew Bridge.
she's so competitive.
Competitive?
She's so competitive. We used to play on Sundays when we lived in D.C. about a year ago this time, right? We used to go to this place to watch the Pats games called, what was it? Something Irish Times, right? Kelly's Irish Times was it called. And it was this Irish pub that was owned by a Pats guy, right? And then we go to this place called Buffalo Billiards afterwards. It was a little ways away, like a half a mile away, which had pool tables, basketball, shuffleboard, had all the things in there. It was like a big giant place to hang out, right? And Sue and I every week would go into competitive competitions to the point where she actually got angry at me because she couldn't beat me in basketball for like 4 consecutive weeks. Like she would lose by like a basket or something like this. And then I was like 3-0 that day.
Yeah.
So I started cheating, playing pool. So when she was like looking around, I would just be knocking my balls in there. And then she caught me and got so angry at me. She was like yelling at me like she was almost murdering me.
That's awesome.
Very competitive.
I'm competitive when I care. When I actually something I really like. If it's something I'm having fun with, I don't care. I'll be like, you won, and I'll clap and I'll be like, good job. I don't care.
I'm so competitive. For instance, in your dream, I wouldn't have been driving the van and picking everyone up. I would have been competing on who's going to have the best rocket ship. And which
But
one's
soon
going
as
to
you're picking up
actually...
survivors, you're trying to help people.
I would have sent Tommy for that.
Do you know me, the dog?
Yeah.
Dogs can't drive.
Come with me.
Thanks for leaving me to die, Suze.
And
Thank you
no,
for
I
leaving me to
came
die.
to get you in your dream.
And you did, but in real life, thanks for you'd be sticking back, trying to build a better rocket.
I wonder if
ship.
those two
You're
look-
so inconsiderate.
I wonder what
Sid.
they would look like with a space helmet on them. Those two dogs.
I don't know. Let's dress them up as astronauts for Halloween.
Sick. Sorry,
God.
Nola and Tom, you guys are astronauts for Halloween. Can we get a little space helmet for a little Filbert over
No,
here?
I think
He
Filbert wants to
needs
be a
one
dog.
falling out of the tank.
So Filbert,
Why
this is,
don't you tell everyone my escapade
yeah.
on
So
Saturday?
this is Filbert right here, everyone. If you don't know, I have had Filbert since I was in 7th grade, which would have been about 20 years ago. He, in fact, was like 2 years old when we got him, so he's about 22 years old right now, little Filbert. We don't know for sure if he's a boy or a girl. We don't know much about him, but he's a turtle. Well, notice there's a little frame on this thing right now. It's because we used to have a cover that went in here, but because it's so humid from the water, it gets so warm and everything, that it actually rusts the top of the metal frame. So I took it off and just threw it away. So where we're sitting right now is where the dog pen was for the crate for the two dogs. And Suze comes home, and she's greeted at the door by Nola. So her first instinct is, I did not lock the dogs up properly. Which anyone would do, try to blame me. Oh, you must not lock dogs.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, I did lock the dogs up. But little Nola got so freaked out, she was able to loosen the bottom latch of the crate and squeeze her little skinny body out. And then was just free. And we're trying to figure out why the hell she did this. So as Suze is trying to get her back in the crate, she looks up and realizes that Filbert is missing. This is hours before the fundraiser. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my
2
god.
hours.
2 hours before the fundraiser. I'm like, do you need me to come home? Where's Filbert? Now he can only be so many places, right? The turtle comes down, he can't climb, so he has to be somewhere in this room. She was afraid Nola took him away. The reality was he climbed up that rock, pulled himself up with his claws, and because we've seen him escape once.
Yeah.
Now, when he escaped that first time, did he go out the front way? How'd he get off?
So he climbed up the filter in the back, but I don't think he took as hard of a fall.
And he
Because
somehow...
he came running across the living room floor.
Yeah, because it was a video of him going into the kitchen. And I've seen him multiple times making his way out. But, so we have this thing on here, so he can't escape. He was wedged behind the wall in the bookshelf. Thank God we found him, because he would have just probably died there if we didn't. But that's the adventures of Mr. Filbert.
Well, you are correct, though. Filbert is a male.
How you know?
Google.
What do you mean?
Long, thick tail, nails.
Oh, the females don't have nails.
No, they have nails, but they're shorter. He seems to have
He
longer
has
nails.
very long nails.
Yeah, it's a male.
Oh,
Look at
all right, look
that.
at that.
Today, for sure.
Well,
Filbert
Filbert
is-
is,
it's def-
really a Filbert.
It's
All right.
definitely a Filbert.
It's not a Phyllis.
No, it's not.
No,
Nope.
no Phyllis.
Filbert, you're a male. He's like, no kidding.
I've known that
He's
for
looking at me.
22 years,
I've known
asshole.
that my whole life.
Now,
He's
no,
gonna live another 40. You
our
realize
dog
that?
Nola is fascinated with Filbert. Like, she'll sit here and watch him just swim around. And I think maybe she was frightened. Maybe she was trying to get help that
Yeah.
Filbert was missing. Because you ever see that show on in Old Planets called Odd Friends?
I've heard of it. I've not seen it though.
Yeah, and like a lot of times it's like, say like I own the rescue shelter, and like I had a penguin that was friends with like I say like a jaguar,
That's pretty cute.
and they would hang out together, right?
Why?
We have a situation in this house. There's Filbert, who's a turtle, and Noel, who's a dog, and they're best friends. I can picture, and they both escaped that day. So something tells me maybe they were conspiring together, like the Alcatraz people. She got out of the pen, he got out of the tank. What their plan B was at that point was, I don't know. But perhaps maybe she picks up Filbert with her mouth and carries him away to wherever they're gonna go.
It might be like Chewie and the Porg in the new Star Wars trailer.
Maybe. They make their way to Logan Airport. They check into a plane. You see them sitting there. You see like a dude, Nola, and then Filbert.
So cute. Not gonna lie.
Nola, if you were to take a flight, where are you gonna go, Nola?
Oh, don't. This is New Orleans joke.
Nola, where do you want to go? She doesn't like the Saints.
Well, apparently not.
Over in the apartment, we have every single football team in the Bud Light specialty cans. So Joey and I are trying to figure out what the hell can is missing. We only had 31. So we immediately blamed you for throwing away a can.
I did not.
And we're like, Adam must have threw one away. So
Nope.
we're like, well, let's figure out which can it was,
I
right?
did not.
So we added them all up, and we got them. The no can we were missing was the Saints can. And I go, well, I know for a fact that her and I drank out of the Saints and the Patriots can right before we left to go to New Orleans 3 weeks ago. So she was the last one to touch
That
it.
was on video. I remember seeing that.
Yeah. So we were joking that because the Saints are doing so bad this year. Did they win it all yet? They have one win, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they won.
They have one win. They were on bye this week, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
So they're 1-3.
They won that game against. I don't remember who they played 2 weeks ago when we went downtown with my mom.
Yes, against was it Pittsburgh? No, it was Atlanta.
Really?
No.
No?
Really? Even Susan's like, no, Atlanta's too good.
They didn't beat Atlanta.
The Saints, if anyone is wondering, are 2-2.
Okay.
2-2. They're in a 2-game winning streak. They won the last 2 games. Let's see. They beat Carolina. Oh, and Miami.
I think Miami's only scored like 40 points
Yeah.
this season. We can.
Oh, that's right. They killed Miami. It was that 11 in the morning game. 9 o'clock in the morning game.
yeah.
Was it the London game?
In London.
London game, yeah.
That's
They
awesome.
beat them 20-0.
That's great.
They're playing Detroit this week. Should we talk about that game last night? And me losing by 0.9 to Fatty Matty?
Yes. That was hilarious.
You should. I was joking around because before that game started, I was the defense I had. We were watching that Sunday night game. Now, the reality would have been was if everything went according to the plan, I should have been up before the Sunday night game. I mean, after the Sunday night game was over. So I essentially could have just took out Diggs altogether for insurance to make sure I didn't get negative points, right? So I had a team that had a defense. I don't know. I can't remember who played the Sunday night. Who played Sunday night? Do you remember?
Regardless, you lost
Kansas
by like.
City and Houston.
Yes.
Micro
So I had
points.
Kansas City's defense, right?
Ooh.
So they were doing pretty damn good, but the last touchdown they gave up was a garbage touchdown. So instead of me getting like 20 points from the defense, I got like 17 points from the defense, right?
Still pretty good.
Dropped 3 points, which brought me down basically 3 points from Maddie.
Oh, you need 3 points.
And Maddie was done.
Matty was done. Oh,
So
he
I
was
lost
done.
3 points right there. So I'm figuring I get Diggs. He's the best receiver
Yeah, he's
for
awesome.
Minnesota.
He's one of the best receivers in all of football right now.
Gets me 1.5 points.
Gets taken out of the game.
It's taken out of the game, and then he's in the game for the rest of it, but he doesn't get thrown to. No targets. 5 catches, or 25 yards. Not even. What was it? We got a point a yard, don't we?
Something like that. I don't know. You made
Yeah.
this. You made this custom league.
We got 0.1 a yard. So I needed 9 yards. A catch in 5 yards would have pushed me over I would have beat him. He does not get that at all, and Matty gets his first win.
And I get screwed too because a lot of those throws went to Kyle Rudolph, who's
Exactly.
done diddly dick the last couple weeks, and miraculously he gets I think 2 touchdowns.
So who'd you lose to?
I lost to Polk High. Who's that?
That's Cousin Richie's friend Jay.
Haven't met him.
No, I don't think any of us met him.
Okay. Team Polk High.
I haven't
like
seen him in
because
10 years.
I'm a huge Married with Children fan though, so I have respect for that.
Yeah, he has the Al Bundy thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're 1-4.
Yep.
I'm 1-4.
Maddie's
1-4.
It's the bottom feeders.
There's 4 teams that are 1-4, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then we have the girls who are all 3-1.
Yep. Something like that.
I'm 4-1.
Oh yeah, you're 4-1. All the girls are 4-1.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Brittany wouldn't be 4-1 anymore because she beat us, so she's 3-2.
3-2.
So us 1-4 is still have a glimpse. We still are hanging in there.
Yeah, Joey somehow is like it doesn't matter because everyone's gonna get steamrolled by Joey. His point totals are ridiculous.
Well, Joey's been looking at magazines since 3 weeks before the Super Bowl.
That's true.
So that's his MO. He's the magazine guy.
That's true.
Well, no. So, on this subject, let's talk about that fucking Sunday night game.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh yeah, Miss Susie had a team that lost by 0.5.
Susan getting fired up. It's a little hot, actually. I like to see fire in a woman. It's attractive.
No, I
She's got
was
some
seeing
fire.
this girl
She
at
doesn't
the
know anything about
beginning
football,
of that
though.
game.
She picked that team by team colors.
Doesn't,
Who?
or was
Well,
it how
you don't know
friendly
anything
they
about football.
looked? How I,
You pick your
All
players.
right, Cam Newton.
or did you take my advice
Joking,
and
of
pick them about
course.
how friendly they look?
Suze actually knows a lot about football, which is surprisingly because like professional football, I should say, because like down south's all
That look
southern.
is-
It's all
Choose-
college.
It's all college.
She has a
Yes.
look on her face. Choose your words wisely.
Yeah, no.
She's had that
I don't mean that like she doesn't know anything. I'm surprised that she knows anything about football. I'm surprised because down where she's from, it's all about
It's all
University of
college
Tennessee,
football.
SEC.
Yeah, because they have teams that suck.
Yeah,
Or they're,
and she comes from a state that only got a professional football team in 1999. And before then, the closest was Atlanta, you know what I mean? Because Carolina came in 97 or 96. So you really didn't have a professional football team to follow.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
So she drafts this team. And you lose by 0.5. We're in a couples league. There's 6 couples. And I am 3-2. I'm in 3-2 in all my leagues, except for our league where I'm 1-4.
What?
Which is not too bad.
Yeah.
Susie was winning the entire time until
Like killing this girl.
yeah.
Killing
She had about a 20-point lead going to Sunday Night Football.
Killing her.
No, 33-point
Yeah.
lead
Killing.
going into the Sunday night game.
Now they had no one playing on Monday. Mondays was done for them. Sunday night was it. Sunday night they don't know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
So she had like the Houston quarterback, a running back, and then
What-
somebody else.
A running back. What running
She was
back?
stacked for Houston.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, Miller. Lamar Miller then for Houston.
I don't know. She had a lot
I
of
don't
okay.
know. She had a lot of people. And then like one person for Kansas City, which didn't do anything for her. I had, what I have? Kansas City kicker?
You had the defense. You had the defense too?
No, that one I have Jacksonville. So I had the kicker. Kicker got me like, I don't know, 17 points or something.
Oh wow.
So the last quarter of the game, I'm still like really beating this girl. She gets 15 points in the last 30 seconds of the game because Houston decides that they want to make a touchdown, and then they decide they want to get a 2-point conversion even though they were losing by 20 points.
2-point conversion killed her because that was
It wasn't even necessary to say,
No.
fuck it, we're going for
it was an
it.
And they went for the 2-point conversion and got it and made me lose.
That's hilarious.
which happened in college football on Saturday too, where a team was down by 20, and if they got the field goal, they would have covered the spread. So say the team, all right, maybe it was a little bit more than that. So say the team was down by like 15, the spread was like say like 14, but they had to kick the field goal and they would have it would have been fine.
Yeah.
What? No, I don't know what the situation was. It was something stupid. But the point of the matter was, they should have punted, right?
Yeah.
And that should have been the game. But because they didn't punt, they kicked a field goal and it was ran back, and it screwed up the whole entire spread. So instead of people who bet on it because the points were where they're supposed to be, or the over, it had to be something about the over or under the points. And there was some technicality that the team should not have been kicking a 65-yard field goal in college. And the guy caught the ball like on the 20 and ran it back for like a touchdown and screwed up everyone who bet on this team. Like literally, the over went way over than it was supposed to be because the team should have just ran the ball up and called it a game.
Yeah.
They were down by 20 or something.
Wait, I think this might have been you that told me this happened. Wasn't it you that lost a game once because the quarterback took a knee and
Yes.
lost a yard?
I lost the yard. I lost 0.1 points
Because the quarterback
to
took a
Eric
knee.
Powers. To Eric
I'll never
Powers.
forget that story. I lost a game because the quarterback took a knee to lose a yard.
I was losing,
that's
and
brutal.
then I had a kickoff return go back for 99 yard kickoff return,
Yeah.
and I was within like a fraction, and then there was a readjustment and all this shit. And long story short, at the end of the day, I lost by a 0.1 points. 0.1. The yard that he kneeled was the yard that did me in. I was like, "Yeah, you're kidding me."
That's
right
pretty funny.
now. Yeah, it was terrible.
That's a little funny now.
I suck at fantasy football. I don't know why I do it, but we play.
It's a social aspect, I guess.
I guess so.
It's fun.
Maybe something to work out, but
Yeah.
it all worked out. All right, well that does it for this show.
Oh, wow.
It's an episode,
It really does.
and we're gonna go eat.
We didn't even do our picks. We didn't talk about Star Wars. We didn't tackle a lot this week, Arty.
It was a busy week.
It was.
We had a busy week. Star Wars will be out there. It's coming out December 15th.
16. Whatever that
15th.
Friday is.
It was coming out Thursday, the 15th.
No, the Friday, I thought. 16.
December the 15th.
I swear they
It's
said the
1 year away
15th because
from
it's
a
a year
big,
from
big day.
it's a year from our
I
wedding.
think. Oh, wait, hold on. No.
We're gonna talk about because they said
No.
the 15th.
No, hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Wait a
1
second.
year away from the
When
big, big day.
does December? Oh, you're right. The 15th.
Is that Thursday?
It's a Friday.
It's Friday. That's right, because we're getting married on
It's Friday.
Saturday.
No, but that's next year.
Yeah.
You're getting married next year. This is this year.
Yeah, so you don't have the
we're
same
getting
day every
married
year.
this year.
No. Star Wars is coming out this year.
Oh,
It's on a
shut up! Don't
Friday.
mess with me.
So it's a Friday. So every year, it moves back a day. It moves forward a day. So
No, it's coming on Friday this year.
yeah,
You guys are not getting married then. You're getting married
No.
next year.
but we get married on the 15th.
Okay.
Which
so-
on a Saturday,
Dude.
so it has to be a Friday because the
Dude.
next year would be it's on a leap year.
Sure.
Yeah.
What does this have to do with the Star Wars release date? Absolutely.
It's 1 year from our wedding day.
Because I know it was on a Friday because we're getting married on a Saturday the next year.
All right, you selfish bastards.
And so they got to write out
I'm taking
Princess
this day off
Leia.
at work.
I'm curious how they're going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We can talk more about that next week.
And God, I hope Han Solo doesn't die.
Again.
And her name is Leia Organa?
Leia. It's
Leia?
Princess Leia.
No, Leia Organa?
Organa, yeah, that's her name.
That was her last name?
Yeah, she was adopted.
By who? Oh, back in episode 4.
Yeah, she's by Jimmy Smits.
Ah. Oh yeah, that's right. His last name was Organa?
Bail Organa, yes. Oh, man.
I didn't know that.
Oh, God.
And Kylo Ren is. I'm confused. That was.
He's the guy who's the Darth Vader wannabe.
I thought it was Solo was his last name.
No, but he became Kylo Ren. He was born. Never mind. Here we go.
Did I miss this part of the episode
Maybe you
7?
should watch it
I gotta watch episode 7 again. I'm missing out.
I know
some
that
stuff.
brain is all over the place and it has lots to think about. So
I gotta rewatch episode 7 before I get a fresh. You know what I'm
he
gonna
was
do?
born Ben Solo, but he
Yeah,
became
Ben Solo.
Kylo
Right?
Ren.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I only seen episode 7
Kind of like
once.
how Darth Vader was really not Darth Vader. He
Yeah,
was
it was
Anakin
Anakin
Skywalker.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. So before December 15th, I'm gonna sit at home. I'm gonna watch episode 1 through episode 7 to refresh myself,
I'm taking a day off. It's already in the books.
and then.
I'm a nerd like that.
You know what I might do? This is what I might do. I'm going to take that Thursday, the 14th off, right? Sit in my apartment all by myself, dressed as my Yoda costume, which I usually go to see premieres with by myself. Don't laugh. Thanks. I can't wear my mask to the friggin' movie theater anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
So I went to episode, when they re-released in 97, I have a Yoda mask.
Yeah.
I wore that to the movie theaters. I wore it in 99 for Phantom Menace. And then the next year it came out was 2001 and I couldn't wear my mask anymore because that's the 9/11.
Oh, yeah,
So they wouldn't allow
Second
the
one.
mask anymore in the movie
Oh
theater.
my god.
No. That came out. No, I was able to wear a mask because that came out in 2000. I was a junior. It was Return of the
Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, I couldn't wear my mask anymore, so
Bastards.
I can't dress up as Yoda anymore. He's my favorite character. Why do you want to know what my favorite Star Wars character was, anyways? Why you ask who my favorite
I was
character is?
just curious.
Oh.
Wow.
Questions you ask, I know the answer.
Found something.
Nola and Tommy like when we talk like Yoda. Yoda you like when we talk like, don't you?
Like, what are you doing?
If you can see their heads right now, they're all looking at me like,
They're
huh?
very confused.
Food is what you eat, is it?
Those heads just going side to side.
Oh, a dog is what you are, is it not? Ooh, the force is strong with you, is it D?
Looking.
I would say,
Hey.
who would you call if these two dogs were Star Wars characters? Who would they be?
Jabba the Hutt over here.
Do you think so?
And no.
I think Tommy would be
Tommy's a little chubby, so.
Jar Jar Binks,
Jar Jar Binks was like tiny.
and Nola would be Chewie. No, not like size wise, but like their
Oh, okay.
personality.
Oh, okay.
Tommy's a Jar Jar Binks, and I think Nola would be Chewbacca. Because she's like kind of like a tough guy, you know what I mean?
A little bit.
And
Maybe she'd be Han Solo.
No, but I'm not like inanimate objects though. Not or inanimate characters like.
Inanimate? That means he's not alive. What are you talking about?
Like non-human characters.
Oh, okay, all right.
Like the
CGI characters.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
Like, I think she'd be a nice Chewbacca.
Chewbacca's a person in a costume.
I mean,
not
not
CGI.
No, but like the he's a Ewok.
No, he's a. Oh no, he's not.
What the hell is? No, he's not an Ewok. He's a I don't know.
He's a Wookiee.
Wookiee. he might be an Ewok. They see Tommy being an Ewok
Yes, maybe.
from the Return of the Jedi's.
Yes.
All right, I'll leave it at this there. Leave this there. We'll leave that there.
Yes.
Y'all have a good week. We'll see you next week. Anything you want to plug real quick?
Oh, well, check out the Whirlwind Reports and thepacky.com.
That's right. It's the poor man's Packy. And you can get me on at DJ Arty for thepacky.com. And if you live in Revere and Ward 6 in particular, you should vote for me. November 7th.
Check out Little Tommy Braden, Nola Breezy.
That's right. On
what?
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram.
All right. See you later. Bye. All right. And goodbye, Facebook.